Hello class and welcome back to another lesson. So what we'll be doing with this lesson is we'll actually be focusing on aspects of what the American dream is. So in Gatsby we were going over it a little bit about how Jay Gatsby kind of represents like the pursuit of the great American dream. Now, the Great Gatsby, the novel, is actually commonly referred to as being the Great American Novel. So we're going to dive into that a little bit with this lesson. So what we're going to be doing in this lesson is actually a big project-based lesson that will take us probably about one or two classes to complete in total. Now, what we're doing is all of us are going to be working together to create some kind of a working definition of what an American dream is. And then taking this definition, you're going to perform some research, and then you're actually going to be going out into the community and kind of interviewing some friends, some faculty members at the school, some family, and somebody else who you know but isn't like directly related to, and you're going to interview them on what the American dream means to them and ways that they go about trying to achieve this. Now, with this information, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a big presentation that hopefully if we have time in class, we'll all have time to present them. If not, then we'll just all upload them to Google Classroom, which there will be several videos going over each of the activities in this lesson and what you have to do to complete those activities, as well as ways to submit them and what you have to do for your final project. So just to give you an example, we have some objectives that we're focusing on this lesson now. There's four big ones that you'll see when I upload this lesson plan. So the first one is that students will be able to demonstrate and communicate their beliefs through a creative manner, with some examples may include but are not limited to a Google slide presentation, Prezi, or like creating a video presentation. So this objective is revolving around the big final project that you'll have to submit when this is all said and done. So using technology of their choosing, students will go out into the real world and interview people. Some examples to achieve this but are not limited to may include creating a voice memo on their phones, video recording the interview using a voice text translator on a device. I'll go over this more when you're reviewing the screencast videos for each of the individual activities. But for this is revolving around going out into the community and kind of learning what other people think, what's important to them, and incorporating that into your own view. And then eventually you'll compare this to the aspects that were illustrated in the Great Gatsby. So students will be able to demonstrate and employ research strategies by utilizing online resources and databases, and will consequently reference these resources when they present their findings. So one of the activities in this project is that you'll have to go through and using some online research databases or resource databases, you'll look up some sources that you can incorporate into your presentation that just kind of illustrate and maybe help you better explain what the American dream is, and then maybe different aspects related to the Great Gatsby. And then students will be able to work together and give constructive feedback on their peers' presentations and findings using Flipgrid and Google Classroom. So there will be two portions for this. One part will be when everybody has their own working definitions for what an American dream is and what ways that they would go about achieving this. You'll have to go on and create a Flipgrid, and then you'll have to respond to one of your peers. And then finally, when everybody submits their projects to Google Classroom, each student will have to go through and view at least two and give some constructive feedback on those so that they kind of have an understanding of what people think. Those will be the two instances where you kind of have to go back and really work with people. Now for one part of it, you'll have to go through and you can maybe interview some of your classmates and stuff if you want to. So there's more collaboration involved in this, but those are the two instances where you'll have to be using technology to go through and kind of give some feedback to them. And then just to kind of set this up a little bit more, we'll be starting this our next class, so you'll be viewing this before you come to class. Feel free to go through and read through all the directions and kind of get an idea. I'll explain it more in class and we'll go over it more in depth. And I will greatly looking forward to seeing all of you next class.